Well, hello. So today, Messiah message, I'm going to talk about the Notre Dame Cathedral burning, the Catholic Church, and various different elements. So, when I think about the Vatican, I think about the 10,000 children that were molested, and I think about the stuff that is not being done about it. So, that's a first foremost element that is brought forward into my mind. Then Sister Kathy Sesnick, her systematic murder, and the systematic covering up of what happened with that situation. So that comes into play as well. So those are two small elements that come into a grander scheme when I think about the Vatican. When I think about the Vatican, I think about women being forced to give birth because a man rules and a man can't spill his sperm, so he has to put it somewhere. So a woman has to open up her legs and people have to pop out children. And so you look at the rate of poverty in the world because women have been brainwashed by this element to pop out children for men, to be literal slaves, physical slaves to a whole culture, leading to various different elements, various, orphan children throughout left children dying. People worry about abortion and all those elements. Well, let's look at this particular element that had been so closely associated with the Catholic Church and the Vatican and that perpetuation of that mindset upon women. So I think about all of those things. So when I think of the Notre Dame burning, I say yes. That's my initial response. That's my initial response. If all of them were burning and no one was being hurt, that would be like a Christmas for me. Because I also look at the percentages of, now, me personally, I will not physically involve myself or even in those kind of elements. What I do is I bring up the issue. I bring up the issue that for many people, this is a factory of child molesters, and not just that, but also an element that destroys in the psyche that hurts society in so many various ways, as well as the involvement of the Catholic Church in various different elements of politics throughout the world. So all those things come into play. All those things come into play when we think about the Vatican and the Catholic Church. So I hope, ideally, I would hope that they would just close the doors, that the United States would actually remove their taxes, the tax status of religious church because of the crimes committed against children. And I think we remove them from the playing field because we as Americans are better than that. And I hope that they are also removed from all around the world. Or I hope that they change dramatically the shift in their teachings and to something where parents are more productive, about bearing their children, where this whole psyche of, your semen is you gotta take care of it in a certain way, and women with the thing, and then yes, those things are very, 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 very important in the spiritual, in the upper worlds and whatnot. But at the same time, there needs to be a genuine opening up of the dialogue. And I think that the Vatican and the Catholic Church has really, perhaps the Vatican should start teaching Kabbalah. you know Perhaps the Vatican, I think perhaps that would be like the whole redemption. They'd be like, okay, fine, we're opening up the catacombs and we're releasing all the texts and we're letting you know everything, and you can go ahead and make your judgment according to whatever it is that you believe. So perhaps the Kabbalah Center and the Vatican should partner up and start teaching these messages to society so that people can have genuine tools and genuine understandings of being able to link things together and understand and make better choices for themselves. Because as we speak right now, there's certain people that are growing in power because in power, maybe too, in power because they're funneling this power and elements, and you see it blatantly. Within 24 hours of this fire burning, you got a bunch of people. You got money, done it, covered. We got you, girl. There were, those kind of things. Whereas you got travesties, you got children, in cages in certain parts of the United States itself. You've got poverty, you got children that are illiterate. What about you looking at, certain parts of the United States where children go hungry, can $5 million worth of food really help out, So those kind of things come into play when we think about, do we care about children? That's, and the children are the future, and so we really, so for me, I'm not a fan of the Vatican. It's actually extremely painful to talk about the Catholic Church because of my personal experience and seeing the effects on my family members, and their frame of thought and where they're coming from. And so it can be, you know, an extreme thing. So initially, and I am sorry if on the internet, I've said some things that are very painful to people. But for me, the Vatican it literally seems like the Church of Satan. Like, that's the eBay agree, you know? Again, if you want to give me some monies on the eBays. So what do you think? What do you think about the whole situation? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to wish you a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful eternity.